Learning about weather is fun, and there are many weather-related books out there. You can choose a silly book, like Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, or you could choose a book about the science of weather and the 4 seasons. This is our garden, Water is Water. Water is Water is a book that was written by Miranda Paul, a local Wisconsin author, and illustrated by Jason Chin. This is Turtle, and other than looking stellar, Turtle's purpose is to redirect precipitation down through Turtle, underneath our sidewalk, and out to our ravine. And that prevents this garden space from puddling and flooding. Here is a close-up view of Turtle's back and the hollow tree stump. There's not much growing here yet, but by midsummer, Turtle will be surrounded with plants that can absorb a lot of water. Water is Water is a beautifully illustrated book that takes us through the seasons while identifying the water cycle. I'd like to start with a note from the author at the back of the book. More about water. Water moves and changes often, just like children. Also like people, each drop of water travels in its own unique path. This story shows only some of the many creative ways that water moves and changes over the seasons. Although the characters in this book sometimes heat up, drink, or play with water, nature usually moves and transforms water all by itself through the water cycle. Now, let's start from the beginning. Drip, sip, pour me a cup. Water is water, unless it heats up. Whirl, swirl, watch it curl by. Steam is steam, unless it cools high. A dragon in a wagon? A crow kneading dough? Clouds are clouds unless they form low. Misty, twisty, where is the town? Fog is fog unless it falls down. Patter, splatter, what is that sound? Rain is rain unless on the ground. Sloshed in galoshes, splash to your knees. Puddles are puddles unless puddles freeze. Glide, slide, put on the brakes. Ice is ice unless it forms flakes. Pack, stack, shape it, and smack. Snow is snow unless spring comes back. Creep, seep, squish in your boots. Mud is mud unless there are roots. Swig, grow big, reach for the best. Apples are apples unless they get pressed. Drip, sip, pour me a cup. Cider is cider until we drink up. Water is everything. Our turtle is about 70% water, and a dog is about 80% water. A baby is 78% water. An earthworm is 80% water. An oak tree is 75% water. An apple is 84% water. And you are about 65% water. Water is everywhere. Water covers 71% of the Earth's surface. Of all the water in the world, oceans hold 96.5%, which is a lot of salt water. Of all the fresh water in the world, More than 69% is trapped as ice and snow, and 30% is underground. All the water in the clouds, the puddles, the mud, the plants, and even your cup doesn't even add up to 1% of our fresh water supply. Water is important. Water may seem to appear and disappear, but the total amount of water on Earth has not changed since dinosaurs lived here millions of years ago. Although water changes forms and is called by different names, new water is not created and old water is not destroyed. In the book, we learned that water takes on many different forms. This experiment will show 3 forms of the water cycle: evaporation, condensation, and precipitation. For this experiment, you will need boiling water, a glass bowl, and a metal bowl filled with ice cubes. A cup of water begins its cycle as a liquid, but then it heats up. The white swirl that rises above a boiling pot is still water, but we call it steam. It will become an invisible gas in the air. Did you know that the sun, not people, heats up most water without forming swirls of visible steam? Whichever way it happens, this process is called evaporation. It cools high. As an invisible gas, water is called vapor. Once vapor reaches cooler air, often high in the sky, vapors form clouds. This is called condensation. Once water droplets inside any cloud become too heavy, they fall down as precipitation. Whenever water falls down from clouds as a liquid, it's called rain.